Hello and welcome to my channel. Here we learn the lore and stories of the world of Tyria. Today we continue the Living World Season 1 story with part 3. Today we will learn what happened at the first annual Dragon Bash festival, as well as the events that transpired right after that as the Bazaar of the Four Winds arrived. Sit back, relax and listen to the Dragon Bash Festival, Honor Turned Chaos. As always, you can find the full lore on the Living World Season 1 on the official Guild Wars 2 wiki. Let's begin. A few weeks after the chaos with Kanak and the consortium on South Sun Cove, Lion's Arch held its first annual Dragon Bash festival. The celebration was meant to honor the strength and resilience of Tyria's people in the face of the Elder Dragons. It was inspired by an old Canthan tradition, but updated to fit modern Tyria. The ship's council hosted the festival, aiming to celebrate victories, past, present, and future against the dragons. The city was beautifully decorated, with fireworks at night, games and plenty of activities. However, not everyone supported it. Some thought celebrating dragons was disrespectful to those who were still fighting or had died battling them. Others believed the money spent on the festival should go toward improving job security, especially after the damage and economic fallout from the Karka invasion the previous year. One of the biggest games was the Dragon Ball Arena, a combat-style minigame created by a Sylvari named Finola. She came up with the idea after studying the Bane of the Black Citadel, where she met Volak Ironsnout, a Char warrior. Together, they raised enough gold to build the arena, and it was later bought by the ship's council for the festival. The main event of Dragon Bash was the effigy lighting ceremony. It was meant to symbolize the fierce resistance of Tyria's races against the Elder Dragons. Before the event started, the commander received a warning from someone named E, claiming that there was a threat to the council. E said they couldn't intervene directly, but wanted to help. At the ceremony, Captain Magnus the Bloody-Handed introduced 3 council members who were attending: Captain Anne Reed, Captain Tok, and Captain Theo Ashford. Magnus then invited cultural representatives, people from different races who had lost loved ones to the dragons, to place memorial items on the pyre. Once everything was ready, a strange surge of electrical energy suddenly went off, exploding the effigy. The blast injured several people, including Garrot Ambercowl, the Char cultural representative, and all 3 council members. The Lion Guard, led by Inspector Ellen Keel, rushed in to control the chaos. A woman in the crowd stepped forward, claiming she could heal the wounded. Meanwhile, the injured council members were loaded onto a Doliac cart and taken to Fort Mariner for medical treatment. Many other cultural reps fled the scene. Not long after, it was announced that one of the council members, Captain Theo Ashford, had died from the explosion. In response, Logan Thackeray went to Divinity's Reach to hire Marjorie Delacroix, a skilled investigator, to find out who was behind the attack. He revealed that Ashford was a close friend, and he wanted justice. The commander later learned that Marjorie Delacroix had once been a part of the Ministry Guard. During one of her cases, a child's murder investigation, she was unexpectedly contacted by E, who warned her about a hidden force that could destroy everything unless they stopped it together. Since then, she's occasionally received message from this mysterious ally. Delacroix teamed up with Keel in Lion's Arch and began her investigation. She used a special device called the Tassi Box, made by Magister Tassi, to check for energy anomalies, similar to what had been used during the Mad King Thorn's investigation. The box revealed that the explosion was not an accident. It had been triggered on purpose. It also found arcane residue on Ambercowl's body, and when scanning others in the area, it detected the same energy on the woman who had tried to heal him, Mai Trin. Mai Trin admitted that she had planned the attack to create a council seat vacancy, one she hoped to fill herself. When the commander and allies tried to arrest her, Aetherblade pirates showed up and helped her escape. Despite their efforts, Mai Trin got away. Following the attack during Dragon Bash and the death of Captain Theo Ashford, Inspector Ellen Keel led the investigation to find out who was responsible. When Mai Trin, the suspected attacker, escaped, the Lion Guard launched a full-scale search for her and her group, the Aetherblade Pirates. Despite the chaos, Captain Magnus the Bloody-Handed made the decision to keep the Dragon Bash festival going. He believed that continuing the event would help prevent fear and panic from spreading. Meanwhile, Trin's pirates began raiding the festival's holographic projectors, which had been created by the Asura to display dragon images for the celebration. Eventually, Keel and the commander tracked down the Aetherblade hideout, located in diverse ledges just outside Lion's Arch. The pirates had hidden their base behind illusionary walls made with stolen holographic technology, making it almost invisible from the outside. Inside, the base was heavily guarded and stretched deep into the mountain, resembling a makeshift pirate shantytown. It even faced the Sea of Sorrows, further hiding it from detection. As Keel and the commander pushed through the hideout, they ran into not only Aetherblade pirates, but also unexpected allies, the Inquest, who were helping defend the base. At the summit, they discovered Mai Trin and her first mate, Horik, discussing their fear of someone called Scarlet, who was apparently behind the failed plan to take over the seat on the council. Trin and Horik were trying to escape in airships that looked similar to those used by the Pact, but Keel and the commander stopped them and destroyed the ships before they could flee. After Trin was captured, Keel interrogated her, but she refused to give up information. Still, the Lion Guard gathered clues from the base, including several low-ranking pirates who were easier to question. What they found was troubling. The Inquest had been supporting the Aetherblades both financially and technologically. The pirates had gained access to air magic, allowing them to build and fly their own airships. They had stolen Pact technology to build their vessels, and with the Inquest's help, the pirates had also developed new weapons, including a slim rapier blade and a handheld cannon used by Horik. Unfortunately, no further details could be learned about the mysterious figure named Scarlet. Later, another Aetherblade base was found in Broad Hollow Bluffs, also near Lion's Arch. The commander raided this second location and discovered it was a garage for more airships, proving that the Aetherblades were far more organized and widespread than first thought. Back in Lion's Arch, Captain Magnus uncovered something else. Theo Ashford's second-in-command had also died earlier during the Molten Alliance events. With no one left to fill the vacant seat, the ship's council was forced to call for an election to choose a new captain. Magnus then nominated Inspector Ellen Keel for the position, but since only ship captains could run, he came up with a clever solution. He commandeered one of the abandoned Aetherblade airships and gave it to Keel, officially making her eligible to run in the election. After the assassination of Captain Theo Ashford and the death of his second-in-command, the ship's council was required to hold an election for a new council seat. Captain Magnus the Bloody-Handed nominated the newly promoted Captain Ellen Keel, but he wasn't the only one in the running. Evan Nashblade, the ambitious owner of the Black Lion Trading Company, also nominated himself. This created a fierce rivalry between the two candidates. To give her an advantage in the race, Magnus advised Keel to secure a signed trade agreement with the Zephyrhites, a mysterious and influential group. Unfortunately, Nashblade overheard the conversation and set out to win the agreement for himself, escalating the competition even further. Soon after, the Bazaar of the Four Winds was announced. This elusive, roving black market event brings together rare and exotic merchants from all over the world. Goods are sold at lower prices than was found in the capital cities, making it a threat to established economies. Because of this, the Bazaar is technically illegal, and groups like the Vigil try to shut it down. However, in Lion's Arch, a city built on piracy and free trade, the Bazaar is widely accepted. To avoid capture, each Bazaar is held in a different secret location in Tyria and announced at the last minute. In 1326 AE, the Bazaar was located at Labyrinthine Cliffs, a sprawling maze of rocky ledges and pathways along the Deldrimore front. The terrain was treacherous, but the real draw and danger came with the arrival of the Zephyr's Sanctum. The Zephyr's Sanctum is a massive floating sanctuary built by the Zephyrhites, a reclusive and spiritual group composed mostly of humans with Canthan or Elonian roots. They spend most of their time flying above Tyria, only rarely docking to restock supplies. As a result, many Zephyrhites were out of touch with current events, often unaware of major historical milestones like the existence of the Sylvari or the truce between the humans and the Char. During the Bazaar, scholars from the German Priory learned more about the Sephirotes' origins. They discovered that the group were actually successors of the Brotherhood of the Dragon, an order that once served Glint, the Crystal Dragon. After the dwarves were turned into stone during the transformation, Glint passed on her legacy to a select few humans. When Glint was killed by the elder dragon Kralkatorrik, her followers made a pilgrimage to her resting place, where they discovered the Aspects, magical forces linked to Glint's power. Using this magic, they built the Zephyr Sanctum to live high above the world and study the Aspects in peace. During the event, some Sephirotes could be heard singing a hymn honoring Glint's legacy, a touching reminder of their devotion to her vision. During the council election, more of Ellen Keel's past came to light. As a child, she had lost her parents in a tragic shipwreck and was rescued by the Lion Guard, specifically by Captain Magnus the Bloody-Handed. From that moment on, Keel viewed Magnus as a father figure, vowing never to let him down. She owed him her life, and her loyalty to both him and the Lion Guard ran deep. On the other side, pieces of Evan Nashblade's history was revealed as well. He arrived in Lion's Arch at the age of 20 as a soldier of the Ash Legion, sent with his warband on a mission to extort the city's people under the guise of the Black Lion Trading Company. Evan, however, believed the plan was foolish. In a bold move, he challenged and killed his war leader, Arya Nashfang, in open combat, taking leadership and establishing the Black Lion Trading Company in earnest. The council seat would be rewarded to whichever candidate could successfully negotiate a trade agreement with the Sephirotes, something the council had attempted and failed many times before. Securing such an agreement was seen as a mark of true leadership and a major qualification for the council seat. Both Keel and Nashblade journeyed to meet the Master of Peace, the leader of the Sephirotes. He agreed that a trade agreement was necessary, but would only sign it with the candidate who had the most support of the people. To that end, a pirate-style election was held in Lion's Arch. As one might expect, the vote was filled with theft, forged entries, and general chaos, all considered acceptable under the city's freebooting traditions. In the end, Ellen Keel secured the majority of the votes, and with it the Sephirite trade agreement. This victory granted her the coveted seat on the ship's council, elevating her to one of the most powerful positions in Lion's Arch. This has been the story and lore of the third part of the first Living World season. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now we're uncovering this mystery more and the plot begins to thicken. Who is this mysterious Scarlet and what do they want? What will happen next? Stay tuned for part 4 of the Living World Season 1 story on this channel. With that said, thank you for watching this video. Please like and comment something you learned or something that you would like to hear. Also subscribe to not miss future lore content in this format. Now, take care and I will see you in the next story. Goodbye.